with America falling apart. And yet here are all these religious leaders like, oh, we have to love the family and this and that. Is that two-faced?
It's interesting. I thought we had a separation of church and state, right?
Yeah.
No, what it is that Satan's controlling the church. The church is not doing its job, and it's not adhering to the teachings of Christ.
What? Okay, so first of all, we do have a separation of church and state. You should remember that when you're attacking Muslim members of Congress who get sworn in by putting their hand on the Quran. Remember she lost her mind over that?
Yeah. Even before she was elected to office, yeah.
People get to decide which religious text they put their hand on when they're sworn into Congress, and she blew her mind. Anyway, but Satan is, I didn't know this, Satan is actually controlling the church. Now, John, why is that happening? And by the way, this is an interview with a right-wing activist named Michael Voris. She goes on to explain that what her read of Christianity is, and she ends up accusing the bishops of perverting the Constitution by apparently breaking laws. Let's watch.
What they're doing by saying, oh, we have to love these people and take care of these migrants and love one another. This is loving one another. Yes, we are supposed to love one another, but their definition of what love one another means destroying our laws. It means completely perverting what our Constitution says. It means taking unreal advantage of the American taxpayer. And it means pushing a globalist policy on the American people and forcing America to become something that we are not supposed to be. Loving one another is the true meaning of loving one another, and loving others means that you also have to uphold the law.
That's what I tell my husband at night, You know, we're getting super intimate. I'm like, I love you, but remember, you gotta
whoa, buddy.
obey my laws.
Commerce clause, okay? Cool your jets, buddy.
That's what love is really about. It's about following laws.
100%, yeah. I think everything that she just said there, I'm gonna assume, I'm a godless atheist. I'm gonna assume that was a direct quote from Jesus Christ, who is king. So she mockingly, I don't even know what her position is. I thought we had a separation of church and state, which she doesn't want there to be one, as you pointed out. So I don't even understand what point you're trying to make there. She believes that she is the person who can identify that Satan is controlling the Catholic Church. If you believe this stuff, if you believe in evangelical Christianity, whatever, do a little bit of searching into Marjorie Greene's personal life. You might find some stuff that's inconsistent with some of the teachings of the modern evangelical movement. But regardless, what she wants to do is claim two positions simultaneously depending on the issue. So she is the arbiter of all that is moral and good, okay? So she's the person that tells you what loving another person means because she is the one who truly understands the Bible. But if you start to bring up, well, no, Jesus told us to love each other and we're obviously supposed to help these people. Do you think Jesus cares about national borders? Like God who created everything cares where you draw a line on the map? You think God cares about globalism? And obviously it's not consistent in terms of religion, so she immediately backtracks to, but really it's about the law. You have to abide by the law. Well, what, Jesus cares about that?
Does she abide by the law?
Throw out the money lenders and stuff like that. Jesus was a radical. Jesus wouldn't care about the law. He'd care about what is moral, what is good. And so she is the sickest kind of flip-flopper. She uses her shallow understanding of religious dogma when it's convenient and hides baselessly behind laws she can't even cite when that's convenient. If you're a religious person, you should despise everything that you just saw from Marjorie Greene there.
You know, it's really interesting because as a QAnon conspiracy theorist who's allegedly so concerned about pedophilia and sex trafficking of children and all of that, out of anything that she could have criticized the Catholic Church about, including its history of fondling and raping little boys, she decided that helping migrants is what she needs to, get her dander up about, right? Helping migrants. Also, speaking of migrants, Does she want to at all discuss the migrants who end up getting sexually abused by Border Patrol agents at our border, including children in some cases? Is she concerned about that at all? Or does she think that those kids deserve to be treated the way they are, whether it's sexual assault, sexual misconduct, or being put in cages? She's not concerned about that. She doesn't care. She doesn't care because these are brown kids, and so apparently my concerns about children being abused don't really matter because viciousness toward them takes priority if they're not, American citizens and don't happen to be white people.
Yeah,
that's
she's not
who
religious.
she is.
She's not religious. She's a racist. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Religion is a convenient stand-in for whiteness in this context.
That's exactly right. I mean, I just like this woman. Like the thing that always stands out to me. Look, there are a lot of dumb members of Congress. A lot of them. The thing that stands out to me about her is that she's an extra layer of stupid, and it's like this unearned confidence that she also like exudes, where it's like, do you know that what you're saying sounds insane?
She doesn't know.
Like so much so the members of your own party clown on you behind the scenes. Like anyway, let's get to what the Bible actually says. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Lots of thys going on. But you know what I'm saying.
They were big on thys back in the day.
It didn't say like that thy shall follow the law before loving thy neighbor. Like what?
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself if the law shalt allow it. No, that's the ultimate law that we just read. If you believe this stuff, I personally think it's nonsense, doesn't mean anything. There's some good philosophy in there though, but it's not divinely, no God actually said that stuff. But she says that she believes that. It's not, if the local zoning code allows for the Bible, no. And that, she doesn't actually believe it, that's the thing.
She also doesn't believe in following the law. I mean, she has provided cover for the rioters who stormed the Capitol and used all this aggression and violence while doing so in an effort to overturn the will of the people in the 2020 election. She doesn't care about laws either. She's like any other right winger who is full of crap on a number of things, including like their freedom of speech warrior stuff, right? Like, no, she wants to follow laws that are convenient for her, but other laws that are inconvenient for what she would like to see happen in this country, including the complete dismantling of our democratic system. She doesn't want to follow those laws.
She's also a lawmaker, by the way. If we were to believe, and it's not true, she's acting in bad faith, that the only hangup she has is, well, I would love to follow the Bible, which clearly implies that I have a moral obligation to help out these people, to love them as myself, to draw no bizarre distinctions between people of different religions or different national origins or whatever. Okay, then change the law so that it's consistent with that. Raise the refugee cap, because you don't want too many refugees coming in above that cap. That would be against the law, so raise it. Raise it, make it easier for them to come in. Or expedite, or put more money into it. If it's the law that's hanging you up, get in there and write some legislation. Why is she pretending as if that's someone else's job? It's technically hers.
Now she does explain what the Catholic Church should be doing instead of helping migrants. So we got one more video, let's take a quick look at that.
Well, here's what we should be doing. We should hold those countries accountable. Oh, I'm sorry, Guatemala, you're not getting a check this year because you have sent X number of thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of people to illegally invade our country as if they're an army. They may not have guns, but they're the numbers of a regiment, of an army. And the bishops, the bishops of Catholic relief charities and services, they should be all in support of that. They should be in support of United States politicians. If the bishops were reading the Bible and truly preaching the word of God to their flock, like
and not covering up sex abuse,
and not covering up child sex abuse and pedophilia, yes, that would be loving one another would have the true meaning.
Oh yeah, the pedophilia thing. It's a little bit of an afterthought for me. But the migrants, am I right? Migrants, those migrants. You know what they should be doing? They should be crushing them. They should be crushing them after we orchestrate coups and destabilize their countries. We should be crushing them. That's what the bishop should be doing. Crushing people as they're trying to escape the conditions that our government created in their country. We should be crushing them. She's a piece of crap. She's just a piece of crap, and she's ugly and terrible in every single way. And I mean personality-wise, internally, but also, let's keep it real, externally as well.
I'm gonna focus on the fact that it reminds me of at one point, so I used to in my youth ride motorcycles, and sometimes if you don't know yet how to ride it, it's effectively like a manual car. You can over rev in first gear and it just doesn't really take you anywhere. I could smell the one neuron in her brain smoking as she tried to come up with a coherent argument there, and she just doesn't have it. She's not smart enough. They picked her because she's crazy, but ideally I think they'd want crazy and clever. She doesn't have it. No. The whole thing about, well, they're like an army, they have the numbers of a regiment. She doesn't even know the terminology. She has no idea what she's talking about. Also, as Edwin pointed out, the government doesn't send people. People go, and you shouldn't care. Again, you're talking about the secular world. These are worldly governments, but there is a kingdom on high that you purport to follow. That is obviously morally superior to that. You don't get those. That's a corrupt human government. Who cares about that? These are regular people, as worthy in God's eyes as any white, blue-eyed, blonde-haired Christian. You should be desperately trying to help those people, but you obviously are as flawed as those corrupt governments because you can't see past the color of their skin, and you only see these arbitrary distinctions that conservatives love to make every bit of politics. We divide it along those lines. It is so clear, and if you're a Christian who believes that you have a more honest relationship to Christianity than Marjorie Greene can even cosplay during one of her interviews with that radical a-hole, and we haven't even talked about the group, they're a bunch of crazies too, then you should be turned off by everything that you just saw from Marjorie Greene. And you should be taking a hard turn away from the way that Christianity has been co-opted by the modern Republican Party.